Welcome to Investment Talk Only with Johnny Ruiz. It's time to get to the money. It's investment talk only. If you say you got the money, gotta show me. A lot of people talk, but that be phony.
Yo, what's good? Welcome to Investment Talk Only Explainer Edition. What's good, Monique? How you doing?
What's up?
We haven't done this in a while, but I was telling you that people have been asking for like, so when you go put out another video, so it is a requested topic. It is a requested segment. So this is for the people.
I know. We have been busy. That's what it is. It's not just like we just don't want to do it. It's been working outside of,
Yeah, it's like, and then we try to do it, and then just stuff happens. So,
yeah.
But we're gonna do better.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is an explainer episode. I told you what the topic was, but I just told you like 5 seconds before we started. So
yeah.
The topic is taking profits.
Okay.
So again, the whole point of our show is to educate our people, who look like us, who talk like us, and pretty much we kind of assume like, you're just new to the game. But the explainer specifically, I don't know if you knew this, but explainer specifically is stuff that you kind of thought you knew, but we go deeper into it. Because it's like taking profits is like, yeah, what's so hard about taking profits? Right? It just goes up and I sell.
It's harder than you think.
Yeah, exactly, right? It's like when you're in it, it's like, man, this is going up, but do I sell now? Because it could go up even more.
This is the story of my life, really.
Yeah.
So there's times that I've been up, and I'm like, nah, because if it's going up like this, then it's gonna continue to go up, right?
Exactly.
And I go by my I log back, that shit is down like significantly, and I'm so mad. And then it'd be like that for a long time, and I get so mad. I'm like, man, I should have sold, and then jump back.
Or you have the opposite where you're like, all right, I learned my lesson the last time. I should have sold, so I'm gonna sell it.
Yes.
And then it keeps on going up. You're like, why did I sell? What's going on?
Yes, that has been, I've done a lot of great things, but there's a lot of times that I'm really like, there's times that I've sold at like negative like $2,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like $2,000, I'm like, oh, whatever, like not whatever, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna chuck up I lost $2,000. And then it goes back up like that, and I'm like so mad at myself. I'm like, you're an idiot. But it's like, how do you know? How do you predict these things?
Exactly. The point is that you don't know.
Okay.
You never know. The market could do anything at any point.
Okay.
So that's the key to know, that the market could do anything at any point. So you could be up a lot, and it could go straight back down, like you alluded to. It's happened to all of us. Or you could be all the way down and it come up. So the point is that you gotta have a systematic approach that you take every time, so it doesn't matter. So the point is, whenever you want to talk about taking profits or having an exit strategy, you always want to have the goal of having a big win, a small win, or a small loss. But you never want to have a big loss.
Okay.
So that's why you got to have the systematic approach, because literally the stock market could do anything at any time, but you want to keep it in those three categories. You never want it to go down to the big loss category.
I remember one time when I first started trading, and I went to your house and I was showing you my stuff, and you were like, oh, just sell. Like, it's already, and I'm like, but I'm negative $500. Like, oh, it's only negative 500, just sell. And I was like, what do you mean just it's only negative $500? I'm like, that's right. And it was just nothing to you, because you're like, oh, you'll make it back in the next play. And I'm just like, I didn't understand that concept for nothing.
Yep, you gotta have the right process. You gotta trust your process. So when you have the right process, you're always gonna be wrong no matter what. At some point, you're gonna be wrong no matter what. But if you have the right process, you know that most of the time you're gonna be right. So that's why I said it. So, just take that loss. Like, you were wrong. Like, it just comes. It's part of the game. Just move on, so you have an opportunity to make it somewhere else.
Yeah.
That was just the wrong trade.
Yeah.
So what I alluded to at first, I said, all right, so I sell, right? It's up. Do I sell now or do I wait? And then it could completely go the opposite way. So I'm gonna give you guys a trick to be part of your systematic process, right? So anytime, so this is part of taking profits. Anytime that you go into investment, buy in lots of 3 or 4.
Okay.
All right, because we all have this like thing that we have where, all right, this is the right criteria for me. This is the right situation for me, so I want to jump in. So we all.
So when you say buy in 3 and 4, are you talking about options?
So it could be anything. It could be options. So if you buy option contract, buy at least 3 or 4.
Okay.
Lots 3 or 4. So it could be 12 to 15. They have to be divisible by 3 or 4.
Okay.
All right. If it's stocks, if it's 100 or whatever, buy them in divisible lots divisible by 3 or 4. So basically, if it's options, don't just buy one.
Yeah.
Don't buy one contract because they'll end up in a situation that we are in. We're like, man, do I sell? Because once I sell, it's over. If I take this loss, then I'm all out. You just have that one shot. So when you buy in lots of 3 or 4, going back to my point is, we all have this criteria that says this is a good time to jump in. And most of the time we're right. It is a good time to jump in, and then we start being right at first, and we get this big jump, and we're like, see, like I knew I was right. And then the market could do anything at any time. It goes the opposite way, and then you end up losing. So you're like, dang, I thought I was right. But most of the time you are right at first, but then the conditions of the market just made it go the other way. So when you buy in lots of 3 or 4, that initial jump, you can shave off profit off the top right there. Because most of the time you're gonna be right at first.
Yeah.
Right when you get that initial profit, you can shave some off, and now you have the rest.
When you say shave some off, that means like sell. So if you have 4 contracts, sell one of those.
Yep, sell one of those.
Okay.
Now you got 25% gain. Take that off the table. Now the risk for the rest of the positions that are still in play, you have mitigated the loss for the whole investment.
Yeah.
So now you can take profits off, and then you can move your stop loss up. It wouldn't be like a conversational thing.
Okay.
All right, now I feel better. Okay, here we go. Oh wait, it is recording now. All right, cool. All right, you ready? All right. Huh?
In our bloopers.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Hold on. Oh man, this is cool though. I like this stuff.
Oh my god.
All right, 1, 2, 3. If you want to.
Okay.
Because now the price is higher.
When you say move your stop loss up a little bit, like what do you mean?
All right, so whenever you go into investment, you got to know when you're going to cut your losses. So you got to know, like, hey, if it goes down to this number, I'm exiting stage light. And so that's where you put your stop loss at.
Okay, hold on. Just because I know what you're talking about. I know you know what you're talking about, but people listening.
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I do know what you're talking about, but I'm trying to,
Yeah, explain what a stop loss is?
Yeah, so stop loss, basically when you put the stop loss, you enter amount. Okay, if it hits, we're using big numbers, but if it hits $5, if it goes down to $5, right now it's at $7, but I'm gonna put a stop loss that if it goes down to $5, I'm gonna be out. Like it's gonna automatically sell. So you're anticipating losing that $2.
Yep, you're saying that this is enough for this is how much risk I want to take, which is the $5 mark that you said. And once it hits there, I'm selling, and then I'm going moving to the next trade. And it's called a stop loss. It's an order that you put in, and as long as it stays above that price, you'll stay in a position. But as soon as it triggers that price, which is the $5, it will sell right then and there.
Yeah, so you don't even have to be on. You don't even have to be paying attention. You could be at the gym running, and then if it hits, the broker's automatically gonna sell it for you.
Exactly. So it's your way to mitigate your risk, not to lose everything. So what I was saying, move the stop loss up. So in your example, $7. So say it goes up to $9 out of nowhere. I sell my 1/4 on one contract. I take some off the table. Now I can move the stop loss to like $6.
Yeah.
Or I can move it to $2 that it moved. So I can now move it down to the entry, which was $7. Now I'm in a risk-free trade. I'm in a 100% win trade just because I knew how to take my profits and I wasn't stingy. So no matter what happens, I at least got something. Now I didn't get all I wanted, but I didn't lose anything. So you got to know how to take profits because you got to treat it like a business. Like you want to pay yourself. You want to pay the business to feed in so you could get more business transactions. So you got to get your profits, take them systematically, and have no emotion to it. So that's a big one is taking profits, and you got to have a set number. So the first one would be maybe 25%. I might sell one contract.
Okay.
And the next benchmark might be 50%. Sell another contract, and all the while I'm moving the stop loss up. So eventually you'll just get into a risk-free trade, which is the best. And then you can do another one for 75%, right? And then you're like, this last one, I'm just gonna let it ride out.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, happens.
It's one of those whatever happens, if it goes all the way, to the garbage, it doesn't matter because I already made all that money back already.
Exactly.
So, but then if it does something good, like you wake up one day or something crazy happens, you're like, what? So either way, you don't lose. So
exactly. So I have the record for our chat group, 1,263%. That's a real return. It's a screenshot. I think I posted it, but I could post it again if you don't believe me. 1,263% return.
You don't have the screenshot?
Of course, I have it written down somewhere because I want to beat it. But I use that exact method.
Wow.
Not those numbers specifically, but buying in lots, taking profit on the way up, and then that last one, I just let it ride. And then 1,263% later, I was like, man.
Yeah, but so what made you I would have sold at 500%. I would have to let it get to 1,000.
Yeah, but so I'm glad you asked that question. So that last one, while I was just letting it ride, it went up and up, and I was like, man, it could go up more. I was just seeing how it was acting, so that's why I was letting it ride. But when it came down, I was like, all right, I think the writing was on the wall. I think it kind of did everything that it has, right? So that's another thing. You got to know when the writing is on the wall for that last one, because you still don't want to go to zero for that last one. You still want to get the best you can out of that. So you just got to recognize it, see when the writing's on the wall. All right, I think it's done. I had my run. It's good. Now I'm going to take profits. And then you could pretty much have a tight stop loss. So whatever the price is at, if it looks weak, just have it really tight. And then once it triggers it, then you're out. And you're like, man, that was a good trade. So that's
sounds like you're playing a video game.
Why?
It's just it's like you talk about
it's like a strategy and stuff. Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying the way your enthusiasm is towards this, it's like if you're talking about 2K, yo, or whatever, man, yo, and then this and that, it sounds like you're talking about a play on the field. That's
because so I was presenting to high schoolers last week about investing. I was like, there's two good reasons why you want to invest. You want to learn this stuff. I'm like, because most people learn this stuff in their 30s, so you guys could catch up. You guys are teenagers. I mean, you guys could get ahead of the game because you guys are teenagers. And I'm like, the second reason, because it's fun to make money. Who doesn't like making money? That's why it's fun. It is fun. Who doesn't like to make money? So that's where the enthusiasm comes. Because when you win it, that junk is fun.
So basically, what are some other exit strategies? I know we're talking about taking profits, but is that the only? What about if you're down? What if you're?
If you're down, you just got to know how much risk you wanna take on before you enter the trade. So sometimes I let my options go to zero, because that's how much risk I'm willing to take. I'm not gonna put that much into it, so I'm okay with it going to zero. So whatever happens, if it happens to turn around for no reason, I'm good with that. So you just have to know what your risk, and it varies from investor to investor. So I would just say that you have to know what the risk is.
When you say the risk, what do you mean by that?
Like how much risk that you want to take for your.
How much you're willing to lose, right? When you say the risk. Okay.
Yeah, how much you're willing to lose. So it depends on your personality, depends on your bank account, how your checking and savings set up. And then just your strategy, your strategy. So it's unique to, but the thing is that you got to figure that out. You have to know it. You have to have it written down, preferably, and you have to obey it every time. You can't just obey it because, man, I swear I'm right. I know I'm right. Like, trading is not about being right or wrong. It's like making money.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Trading is not about being right or wrong. It's about making money. That's why taking profits it's like, hold on, are you in it to make money? Or you just in it to want to be right?
Yeah.
So that's why you take profits systematically, because it's a business. You gotta,
so that's why I say take your emotions. Take your emotions.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people get tired of, they want to be right, but do you want to be right? Or do you want to make money?
Yeah.
I don't care about being wrong. I think I wrote that in that Slack group. I'm like, I'm gonna be wrong, but most of the time I'm gonna be right. And that's where you can get success.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I had for taking profits. That's can't just jump into a trade and just let it go to the moon and just sit there and watch it. Like, you gotta have a systematic approach to taking profits, because you gotta survive for the long haul.
Yeah. A lot of people ask me like, oh, so when do I sell? I'm like, shit, I don't know. I'm like, I'm still trying to figure it out myself. You know what I'm saying? There's still times that I'm like, because sometimes I do have my emotions in it, and I'm like, no. I'm like, yeah. And that's where I have to, I'll be wanting to be right.
It's one of those, the stock market is there's two big emotions about that tugs on our human, we battle with these two emotions. Is one about being right, and the two about losing money.
Yeah.
Like, everybody wants to be right and nobody wants to lose money, so those things are literally tied into the same concept. So you want to be right and you don't want to lose money, so you don't want to sell when the writing's on the wall.
Yeah.
You know that money's gone. Like, it's the finality of it.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to kind of swallow, but with the experience, like, you get numb to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I'm selling something tomorrow. Just kidding.
Cool. So that was a cool explanation. I think this is a good one, especially for the new investors. So if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit the like button.
Yes.
Go ahead down, hit the thumbs down, but tell us how we can get better. But I guess we'll see you on the next Explainer. I'm Johnny Ruiz.
I'm Monique Benitez.
All right, y'all, peace.
Investments are only.